Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. The news just dropped like a bomb in the NFL world, and fans are still reeling from the shock. Tua Tagovailoa is no longer the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. The whispers started quietly, in those insider channels that only die-hard followers trust, but now it's out in the open, confirmed by sources close to the organization. Imagine being a Dolphins fan waking up today, checking your notifications, and seeing that the player who carried so many hopes for seasons is suddenly not under center. Rumors had been swirling for weeks. Talks of locker room tension, strategic disagreements with the coaching staff, and even doubts about Tua's long-term health. But no one expected it to culminate in a full separation, an abrupt end to a relationship that seemed, on paper, built for stability. Social media erupted instantly. Fans, analysts, and casual viewers alike flooded platforms with opinions, speculation, and in some cases, outright disbelief. The Dolphins organization has remained tight-lipped publicly, issuing only a brief statement about moving forward strategically, yet insiders hint at a deeper story, involving negotiations, potential trades, and even behind-the-scenes drama with other players who might have influenced the decision. Sources say the decision wasn't made overnight. It's the result of a months-long evaluation process. Coaches reportedly examined every angle: performance metrics, injury reports, and even Tua's synergy with wide receivers and offensive linemen. Some insiders claim that the team felt a shift in energy on the practice field, a subtle signal that the quarterback's presence might not align with the team's long-term objectives. But here's where it gets juicy. There are strong hints that Tua's future could lie somewhere unexpected, possibly even on a rival team. Imagine the ripple effects: a player with experience, talent, and name recognition suddenly available, sending scouts scrambling and fans of other teams buzzing with excitement. This could be the start of a blockbuster trade, one that might redefine quarterback dynamics across the league. Meanwhile, Miami's locker room is said to be in a delicate state, with players reacting differently, some mourning the loss of a teammate, others perhaps quietly agreeing with management's choice. Analysts speculate that this move could be a calculated risk by Dolphins leadership, signaling a shift toward a younger, more experimental approach in the coming seasons. The timing of the announcement has also fueled speculation. Right before the trade deadline, the news hits, and everyone wonders whether this was strategic positioning or a genuine shakeup born out of frustration. Some suggest the Dolphins might be negotiating behind the scenes, trying to leverage Tua's value while still receiving maximum return. If true, this could be one of the most calculated moves in recent NFL history, showing management's willingness to disrupt established narratives for potential long-term gain. Fans, naturally, are torn. Some mourn the loss of a familiar face, remembering Tua's moments of brilliance, clutch plays, and the way he galvanized hope during tense games. Others are cautiously optimistic, curious about who will step into the quarterback role next and how the team will evolve. In forums, fan pages, and YouTube channels, the discussions are intense, sometimes heated, often speculative, as everyone tries to decode what this means for the Dolphins' strategy, morale, and their prospects in an already competitive league. The rumor mill, as usual, is running at full speed, feeding off every small leak and tweet. Inside sources hint that this could affect not just the Dolphins, but the entire AFC landscape. Teams that once didn't consider a quarterback swap might now see opportunity. The ripple effects could lead to mid-season trades, shifts in offensive schemes, and even coaching strategies that aim to capitalize on Tua's availability. Some analysts have gone so far as to suggest that this might trigger a domino effect, with multiple teams recalibrating their lineups, scouting priorities, and game plans to either acquire or counteract Tua's potential impact elsewhere. The NFL world thrives on these kinds of rumors. When a recognizable name suddenly becomes mobile, speculation becomes currency, and social media explodes with projections, wish lists, and fan theories. The Dolphins locker room, meanwhile, is said to be processing this news in varying degrees of shock, acceptance, and even strategic planning. Veteran players might see this as a call to step up, while younger athletes could feel both opportunity and pressure. And of course, Tua himself becomes the center of every speculative narrative, with pundits dissecting his past performances, potential destinations, and even hypothetical fit with rival teams. The narrative has also spread to betting circles, where odds on Dolphins games, quarterback picks, and potential trades have shifted dramatically. Bookmakers reportedly had to adjust lines immediately, reacting to the news, as fans place bets not just on games, but on Tua's next move. Imagine the layers of intrigue here. Not only is a popular quarterback suddenly without a team, but the potential outcomes could affect playoff scenarios, draft strategies, and team morale across the league. Rumor sites, podcasts, and sports shows are racing to be first with speculation, analyzing tape, insider tips, and even cryptic tweets from players. It's a whirlwind of information, some accurate, some misleading, all creating an electric environment of anticipation. The fact that this announcement came at a critical point in the season adds fuel to the fire. Fans are left imagining what the next game will look like without Tua's leadership, how the offensive line will adjust, and whether the Dolphins' play calling will shift toward more conservative or experimental approaches. Speculation also extends to Tua's personal reaction and future plans. Will he demand a starting position elsewhere, or is he prepared for a transition period? There are whispers that he might already have agents working on multiple fronts, trying to identify the most advantageous landing spot, one that maximizes both playing time and career trajectory. Social media amplifies these rumors, with fans sharing potential destinations, team fits, and even hypothetical plays that could showcase Tua's strengths. The intrigue is heightened by the contrast between his perceived potential and the suddenness of the Dolphins' decision. Analysts point out that while Tua had moments of brilliance, there were concerns about consistency and leadership in high-pressure situations. But the rumor mill suggests that talent like his rarely stays unclaimed for long, meaning his exit could trigger a chain reaction of trades, adjustments, and strategic pivots in the league. Everyone is watching, waiting for the next piece of information, because in the NFL, one player's departure can rewrite entire narratives, affecting careers, fan bases, and even team cultures. The media response has been immediate and overwhelming. Headlines scream, "Shock in Miami," and "Tua out." But beneath the sensationalism lies a more complex story of strategy, potential disagreements, and calculated risk. Sports networks are dissecting every angle, from performance stats to locker room dynamics, trying to frame the departure in a coherent narrative. Podcasts are running special episodes, analysts debating possible trade destinations and the long-term impact on the AFC. Even casual fans are tuning in, drawn by the drama of a familiar face suddenly entering free agency, a scenario that blends talent, opportunity, and human emotion in equal measure. The Dolphins organization is positioned in a delicate balance, managing public perception while quietly maneuvering behind the scenes. The story continues to unfold, and every insider tip, social media post, or cryptic quote becomes fodder for analysis. This is exactly the kind of situation that NFL fans live for: rumor, speculation, and the tantalizing question of what comes next. Among the fan community, the news has sparked a wave of nostalgia, anger, hope, and curiosity all at once. Memes flood social media, debates erupt in forums, and YouTube channels dissect every play Tua made in Dolphins history, searching for clues or signs that this moment was inevitable. Meanwhile, insiders hint at potential suitors, teams in desperate need of a quarterback who can deliver under pressure and inject energy into their offense. The idea that Tua could suddenly become the centerpiece of another team's resurgence has analysts and fans buzzing with what-if scenarios. Meanwhile, Dolphin strategists are reportedly considering multiple options, from veteran backups to rookie prospects, trying to balance the immediate need for performance with long-term development goals. Every rumor, every tip, every cryptic message from agents or players is amplified, creating an environment where speculation thrives and every theory feels plausible. The NFL rumor machine is in full effect, and Tua Tagovailoa's departure from Miami is proving to be one of the most talked about, analyzed, and debated moves of the season, with implications reaching far beyond the Dolphins' stadium walls. The ripple effects of Tua Tagovailoa's sudden departure from Miami are already being felt across the league, and the speculation about his next destination has fans and insiders alike on high alert. Sources close to multiple teams hint that several franchises are quietly making calls, evaluating offensive schemes, and imagining how Tua's mobility, arm strength, and field vision could transform their seasons. Analysts point out that landing a quarterback with his skill set midseason could completely alter playoff projections, creating new matchups nobody saw coming. Meanwhile, in Miami, the locker room reportedly feels both relief and tension. Relief for some players eager for a fresh start, tension for others who built chemistry with Tua over the past seasons. Rumors of disagreements between Tua and coaching staff have circulated for weeks, and now, those whispers are being interpreted as confirmation that personalities clashed more than playbooks. Some fans speculate about hidden factors behind the scenes, including management disagreements, contract negotiations, or even strategic positioning to acquire future draft picks. Social media is awash with debates, memes, and passionate arguments over whether this was the right move. Every minor leak or insider hint is dissected to pieces. The NFL rumor mill thrives on ambiguity, and Tua's exit has created a perfect storm, leaving fans, teams, and commentators guessing which domino will fall next. One of the juiciest points in this unfolding saga revolves around Tua's potential suitors and the strategic chess game that could follow. Teams with struggling quarterback situations are reportedly lining up to assess the possibility of acquiring him, while others are weighing whether pursuing Tua is worth disrupting their current rosters. Inside sources suggest that discussions are already happening behind closed doors, and agents are reportedly coordinating with multiple front offices to maximize his market value. The rumors hint at a scenario where a high-profile trade could be imminent, possibly involving multiple draft picks or player swaps, creating one of the biggest mid-season shakeups in recent memory. Analysts argue that this could reshape the AFC hierarchy, giving new life to underperforming teams and putting established contenders on notice. Fans are already imagining Tua in rival jerseys, executing plays that could haunt the Dolphins, and the speculation feeds a frenzy of debate, with podcasts and fan channels analyzing every potential angle. Meanwhile, Miami's internal strategy remains opaque, sparking additional curiosity and conspiracy theories. Every insider tip, tweet, or cryptic statement is being magnified. This is exactly the kind of situation that fuels NFL rumors and keeps fans glued to their screens, eagerly anticipating the next twist in Tua's journey. Even beyond potential trades, Tua's exit has sparked questions about the Dolphins' broader organizational strategy and culture. Analysts speculate that this move could indicate a shift in priorities, favoring youth development, experimental offense, or a more aggressive draft approach in the coming seasons. Rumors suggest that the front office might be positioning itself to rebuild around a new quarterback, signaling a willingness to take risks for long-term gain. Meanwhile, some former teammates have reportedly reached out to express support or curiosity, creating an atmosphere where speculation about locker room morale blends seamlessly with strategic forecasting. Fans are dissecting every quote from Dolphins management, every cryptic social media post, trying to determine whether this move was planned months in advance or a reaction to recent tensions. The rumor mill is unstoppable, feeding itself off ambiguity, selective leaks, and the innate desire of the NFL community to predict the unpredictable. The implications for the AFC are also enormous. Teams that might have overlooked a quarterback swap now see opportunity, while others scramble to adjust game plans for the possibility that Tua could suddenly appear on a competitor's roster. Each rumor, tip, and speculative analysis adds layers of intrigue to an already complex situation. As the story develops, Tua's personal narrative becomes increasingly central to the discussion. Insider whispers suggest that his next move could hinge on both playing time and team culture, as well as long-term career trajectory. Analysts speculate that teams with a need for a quarterback who can lead in high-pressure situations will aggressively pursue him, while others might offer backup roles with the promise of eventual starting opportunities. Social media is alive with fan theories imagining Tua in jerseys that seemed unimaginable just days ago, executing plays that could redefine rivalries. Meanwhile, commentators highlight the delicate balance between performance metrics and intangible leadership qualities, emphasizing that while Tua's skill set is undeniable, his next team will need to align perfectly with his style to maximize results. Rumors also suggest that Tua's agent is exploring multiple scenarios, from trade packages to potential free agency leverage, creating a web of speculation that stretches across leagues and markets. Fans debate potential landing spots endlessly, creating a mixture of excitement, tension, and anticipation. The narrative surrounding Tua is no longer just about Miami. It's about the entire league, with multiple storylines now converging on the question of where he will play next. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? Meanwhile, the Dolphins themselves are quietly navigating the aftermath of the announcement, balancing internal morale with public messaging. Sources hint that management is actively exploring quarterback alternatives, reviewing rookie prospects, and considering veteran backups, all while keeping the larger trade and draft strategy in mind. Analysts suggest that this could signal a more aggressive approach to rebuilding or retooling the roster, with Tua's departure serving as a catalyst for wider organizational changes. The locker room reportedly has mixed reactions. Some players see opportunity, others mourn the loss of a leader, and yet others are quietly strategizing for their personal roles in the team's evolving dynamic. Fans, meanwhile, continue to dissect every announcement, leak, or cryptic social media post, fueling speculation about trades, replacements, and the future direction of the franchise. Rumors have even extended to coaching dynamics, with insiders hinting that Tua's exit could impact play-calling philosophies, offensive schemes, and strategic approaches. The NFL rumor ecosystem thrives in these moments, amplifying every minor detail into a narrative with potentially massive implications. Miami is at a crossroads, and every insider whisper or fan theory seems to carry weight in predicting the team's next move. Tua's departure has also sparked fascinating discussions about how mid-season quarterback changes impact team identity and cohesion. Experts argue that replacing a quarterback, especially one with Tua's experience and visibility, creates both challenges and opportunities, affecting everything from offensive rhythm to team confidence. Rumors suggest that Dolphin strategists are exploring scenarios that could stabilize performance while cultivating long-term growth, a delicate balancing act in the high-pressure NFL environment. Fans speculate about potential replacements, with names circulating from veteran journeymen to promising rookies, each option carrying its own risks and rewards. Analysts also highlight the psychological impact of such moves on locker room culture, noting that players often respond differently depending on their relationship with the departing quarterback. Social media discussions oscillate between mourning Tua's exit and projecting excitement for potential new leadership. Meanwhile, league insiders emphasize that Tua's availability will likely ignite a flurry of trades and strategic maneuvers across multiple teams, creating a domino effect that could redefine competitive dynamics. Every rumor, prediction, and speculation piece contributes to a growing narrative that is part human drama, part high-stakes strategic game, making this one of the most intriguing mid-season storylines in recent memory. The chatter about potential destinations for Tua is relentless, with rumors suggesting everything from a quick trade to a dramatic free agency negotiation. Teams reportedly scouting him are weighing offensive fit, leadership style, and long-term potential, trying to predict how he could integrate into existing schemes. Analysts speculate that landing Tua could instantly elevate struggling teams, while for others, failing to acquire him might mean missed opportunity or disrupted plans. Fans are fully immersed, crafting hypothetical lineups, imagining Tua in rival colors, and dissecting past performance highlights to guess where he would shine most. Social media feeds are full of polls, debates, and what-if scenarios, reflecting a collective obsession with the unfolding drama. Meanwhile, the Dolphins' internal planning is rumored to involve multi-layered contingencies, including alternative quarterbacks, playbook adjustments, and morale-boosting strategies, all designed to mitigate the impact of Tua's exit. The NFL rumor ecosystem is thriving, fueled by leaks, insider chatter, and the natural curiosity of a fanbase eager for answers. This is not just a roster change. It's a seismic shift with ramifications extending far beyond Miami's stadium walls. Every report and whisper adds fuel to an already explosive conversation. Amid all the speculation, analysts emphasize the delicate balance between talent evaluation and organizational strategy. Tua's departure is being framed not only as a personnel change, but also as a signal about Miami's evolving priorities. Rumors suggest management may prioritize draft flexibility, offensive experimentation, and long-term planning over immediate stability, a move that could redefine the team's competitive approach. Fans, naturally, are divided. Some mourn the loss of a familiar face. Others are energized by the unknown possibilities. Media outlets are covering every angle, from performance statistics to rumored locker room dynamics, amplifying the intrigue. Meanwhile, agents and rival teams are reportedly engaged in quiet negotiations, trying to position themselves advantageously in the unfolding drama. Each leak, speculation, and rumor feeds a narrative that blends human drama, strategic complexity, and league-wide consequences. The excitement, tension, and uncertainty surrounding Tua's next move have transformed a single roster change into a multi-layered story capturing attention across fan bases, analysts, and insiders alike. Miami is now at the center of one of the NFL's most captivating rumor storms of the season, with Tua Tagovailoa at the eye of it all. The last few days have turned the NFL into a whirlwind of speculation, debates, and projections centered on Tua's departure. Every potential trade, rumored landing spot, and insider tip has been scrutinized and amplified by fans, analysts, and media outlets, creating a dynamic where facts, conjecture, and speculation intertwine seamlessly. Rumors now suggest Tua could dramatically reshape the fortunes of any team lucky enough to acquire him, forcing other franchises to rethink strategies, draft plans, and even coaching approaches. Meanwhile, the Dolphins navigate their own internal adjustments, balancing morale, performance, and strategic priorities while staying tight-lipped publicly. Social media is a nonstop forum of discussion, memes, and analysis, reflecting the intensity of fan engagement with this high-profile scenario. Analysts are emphasizing both short-term and long-term implications, highlighting that quarterback changes mid-season are rare, high-stakes, and ripple across the league in unexpected ways. Tua's story is now more than a Miami narrative. It is a multi-team, league-wide saga with each rumor, hint, and speculation piece amplifying intrigue, tension, and anticipation. The NFL rumor mill thrives in moments like this, and Tua Tagovailoa's next chapter promises to be one of the most closely watched and debated storylines of the season. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.